lesson, topic, or quote of the week?
I have one.
I have one as well. Mine's really short and quick.
Go ahead, do it. Rip
Okay.
it.
I'm stealing this one directly from my therapist because I thought it was an incredible metaphor. He was talking about life as a plate at Thanksgiving dinner, and that you never want your plate at Thanksgiving dinner as you're walking to the table to have food falling off of it. Or let's say you go to the table and you set your plate down and all you have is turkey. There's no gravy. There's no mashed potatoes. There's no green beans, sweet potato casserole. What's this guy doing? Or maybe you just have a little bit on your plate. It's like, yo, it's Thanksgiving. Like, eat. Like, fill your plate up. He was talking about that perfect balance of all things that you have in your life. So, like, you got your social life, which is like your green beans. You got your, let's say you're married or have a girlfriend. That's your turkey. You got your mashed potatoes with your kids and maybe some gravy. You have all these different things. You have your work life, which is like the dinner roll.
Yeah.
You're going to have everything on your plate, but you want to have the right amount. And if you have too much of something, maybe cut back on it a little bit. Just make sure we have everything on our plate, but still have a full plate. It's Thanksgiving, by God. I just love that metaphor.
Yeah, butter roll enough. Get the gravy going enough. That's a good one.
It's a good one. As soon as I heard it, I was like, dude, that's so like easy to apply to like anything in life. But I just love that illustration of it.
So this lesson, topic, whatever, this is a philosophy I came across. Great to stack on top of what you just said as far as balance in your life. Have you ever heard of the anchor before sales philosophy or the anchor in sales?
No.
Okay. This is great. This was
sales as in sailing or selling someone?
Sales as in sailing.
Cool.
Sailing.
S-A-I-L.
So the metaphor of the anchor and sail, this is a powerful framework. So it's like two essential forces, right? Governing your principles, your personal values, like keeping everything in check, keeping everything sturdy before you hit the sea. The anchor symbolizes governing principles, so self-evident truths that ground us during times of turmoil, while the sail represents our personal values or the things we esteem to be of worth, which guide our actions and enable us to adapt and grow in the face of change. So if I formulate this around family life, like for the dads, like dads, because there'll be career mix in there. You can formulate this around anything in your life. But as far as the For the Dads brand, Papa Team 6, family. Think of your life as a ship. The sails are the opportunities, the career moves, the yeses that propel you forward. Those are your sails. They catch the wind and move you fast. But the anchors, the things that you've already chosen as your highest priorities, like your wife, your kids, your family, your career, the things that keep you steady. Without anchoring first, no amount of wind will keep you from drifting off course. The danger that a lot of us face is that many of us raise every sail without checking the anchors. We say yes to everything in career, hobbies, and obligations, thinking it's all for the family. But if the anchors aren't set first, if your wife doesn't feel seen, if your kids only get the leftovers of your time, they don't feel seen, your family doesn't feel seen, then all that progress is just drifting. So the philosophy around this metaphor becomes anchor first, schedule family time and wife time as the non-negotiables before anything else goes on the calendar. Sail with intention. Every career or outside commitment that you say yes to must be weighed against those anchors. Does this opportunity strengthen or strain what I've already chosen as the most important? Live by the subtraction. So true priorities show up more in what you say no to than what you say yes to. A man who says yes to everything spreads himself thin. A man who protects his no has the strength to show up fully where it matters. This doesn't mean you neglect your ambition or growth. It doesn't. It just means that your definition of success shifts. If the world praises you, but your wife and kids feel unseen, you've lost the only scoreboard that matters. And anybody can listen to this or think about this in a way of you have a For the Dads brand. You're somebody who's successful or ambitious, all of those things. I have an interest in like, I guess, pushing a philosophy or something that interests me that I think is correct.
Yeah.
Going back to the only scoreboard that matters reference. And to me, I sit there and think about anybody that I latch onto, admire in the world of success, hustle, grit, ambitious, anything that has touched me indirectly or directly that I've admired, that I've taken bits and pieces from to apply to my life and career and ambition. But everybody, bro, who gets to the end of their life that reflects back on things that they wish they did more of, it is across the board family time.
Yeah.
It is across the board. They reflect on that scoreboard of what things that they sacrificed for this goal that they did achieve. And everybody, bro, that you sit there and read about or listen to that is reflecting on their success along the way, early in life, where they're at now, the thing that they always talk about that is such a common denominator is, I wish I would have played catch more. I wish I would not have complained about, my kids wanting me to do X, Y, and Z. And I kind of said no to them during that time. They always talk about those moments. And that's something that I very much have latched onto in recent years. And something that, as we've talked about lessons, topics, life outside of podcasting, like all those things, I feel like it's such a constant thing that I keep on at the top of my mind on what to say yes to, what to say no to, all of those things. Like, again, a great example where this weekend was a weekend in the calendar when we were about to get in football season and we're kind of, juggling what our routine is going to look like throughout the week. And this weekend had popped up as like an open weekend. We've talked about it on For the Dads, on like looking ahead, whether it's family photos, shooting our wives a message, hey, go get a latte, Venmoing them money, whatever it is that we've done. Something that we wanted to do was like, hey, where is a weekend to where we can get away? Whether it's for, we're only doing it for what, like not even 24 hours, about 18 hours, to where it's like, hey, we're going to have mom and dad time because we feel like two ships passing in the night a lot of times. So how can we circle this weekend as like, all right, we're going to build around this weekend. Anything that comes up that could happen this weekend, we're going to say no to because we're going to spend time with each other.
Yeah.
So I came across this this metaphor in philosophy, like as I was doing some, scrolling around on the internet and everything else. The anchor and sail caught my eye, and then I broke it down to like how can this apply family wise? Because again, you can use this anchor and sail philosophy for everything, right? It's like, if you want to go accomplish anything in life, you want to first start at like, who am I? What do I want to value? What am I going to prioritize? Like, who do I want to become? Those essentially are your anchors. So that way, when you do set sail everywhere, you're able to weigh it down and start first with where your anchors are. So I thought this anchor and sail philosophy was fucking all time. And I was fired up to share when it comes to the family stuff, because again, it's somebody who is very ambitious, who very much wants to achieve and accomplish. And somebody who also very much wants to, I don't want to just say, the cliche of football, like growing up with football is like faith, family, football. It's like, okay, family and faith and all this stuff is in there, but really I'm always dialed in. Your boy's always dialed into football.
Yeah.
To where I'm saying yes to everything football, and not really, I'm telling myself that all of this is for family. All of my ambition and everything that I'm doing is for my kids, my wife. Like I go and do all this. And so we can have this life, everything else. But if you're truly going to be intentional and prioritize, it's how do you spend time to actually look at how family and kids and your wife are a true anchor in your life. So that way you are protecting your nose when those do come up. So I was obsessed with this philosophy. I couldn't wait to share it.
I love everything that you just said. And you pretty much just described like what I told my therapist my very first time I met with them. This new one here in Nashville, of my goal.
Yeah.
Of like, I am meeting with you once every 2 weeks because I want the main thing to remain the main thing. And I want to have this balance in my life. I know that nobody has the perfect life, but I want an accountability coach, somebody that I'm able to like run these things by. And I love that philosophy. Love that philosophy. Because my dad would be right there with you with saying, his biggest regret, not doing more family time. And I say that because he'd be willing to share it. And I can see it in the way that he interacts with Scarlett. He's just like, oh man. So yeah, dude, that gets me fired up.
Yeah, bro. Cause you're right. You can talk about balance, but there's no such thing. Balance is, all right, how can you compartmentalize your mind to, hey, what is fucking important to you?
Yeah.
How do you dial in on each of those anchors, each of those principles, each of those values, and how do you get so clear to where you know what you're going to reach out to go for on your next move, or you know what to say no to?
Yeah.
It's so crucial. That's truly like it's a constant conversation
in
my head.
And a good illustration of that to add on to that picture. I was just having this conversation about like what is it like being a dad, Sherman, was the question that was asked to me. And life really is like a plate being balanced on a stick where like you're never going to achieve that perfect balance where like the plate stops completely and it's flat and everything's good. There's always this just got added. Now Scarlett can walk and talk. Deal with that. Now she can reach up and open doors and we got to tell her to stay out of certain rooms. My best friend just did something that, betrayed our friendship. My boss at work is a psychopath. Like, I'm just making up examples, but like the plate is always, it's just like, how are you going to react to those things to achieve some semblance of balance, some semblance of like an even keel to keep it on sailing terms?
Amen, bro. And to me, it's about you take all the accountability and control that you are going to find the balance of that plate.
Yes.
It's not the external things that are happening because that's constant. Happiness is so fucking fleeting, bro. It's so fleeting.
Yeah.
If you're looking for things to make you happy, like it's dude, it's you.
Yes.
It's us. It's myself. It's disciplines. It's things that are fucking hard. But in those moments when you do find that balance, it's like, how do you again taste it for a moment, but know that unbalanced, that something's going to happen. It's truly, it's all about how you react to it.
And you don't have to be like, this isn't like hey, you got to be proactive, not reactive. Like you got to be perfect. You got to have it. Like,
absolutely. Yeah.
It's just like, just be aware that things are always going to be changing and that your actions and reactions are going to tell the people in your life how important they are to you, or the things in your life, how important they are to you.
Right. And reconnecting.
Yes.
Just constantly reconnecting. Because again, we all get off the rails. We constantly get off the rails.
100%.
How do you get back to center? Yeah, it fires me up, dude.
I love that philosophy. Who was that? A quote or
so the article I read, I'll have to find the article, but it was talking about the anchor. It was talking about like the anchor in the sail, and it was kind of talking more like career based. And then I came across one with like, I'm looking in like the power of no. I always love the power of no stuff. Ryan Holiday talks about that with like family and everything else. So it was like a combination of things that I'm like, I was trying to, because it truly is a constant conversation in my head to where I'll like struggle with it. Every time I'm like tapping in, I'm like, all right, things feel a little overwhelming right now. How can I what's this bucket with my wife look like? What's this bucket with my kids look like? Am I satisfied? Am I happy with what I'm doing as much as I'm doing like with my kids? Do I need to be a little more intentional? Do I need to take an hour or two and it's just me and Rue? We get out of the house and go do something, whether it's a trip to Target. You and Charles going to the library yesterday with Rue, and she's like, do you mind if I pick Rue up for school and we go to the library?
Public library?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Charles, all public library.
That.
Yeah. The library's got a lot of cool stuff for kiddos too. Like as far as like events or story time and things like that. And she's like, do you mind, rocking with Scotty? And I'm like, oh dude, absolutely. Like Scotty's a piece of cake, especially if you're one-on-one with her. Like she's a little 10, 11 month old. And she's just a lot of fun. But I'm sitting there playing with Scotty. And it's like, this is one-on-one time I'm getting with Scotty.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times it'll be 2-on-2. Got the whole family together. You can tell when we're all ready to pull each other's hair out at times. And it's like, it's just rechecking in like, okay, because I know we do a lot of stuff here at the shop, a lot of stuff at work. I'm constantly thinking about Bussin With the Boys and career and everything else, but it's one of those things where it's a constant conversation with myself. One thing I wanted to ask, how discombobulated do you get in your mind when somebody just randomly hits you with like, what's fatherhood like?
I do, dude. It's a fun question to answer with people that knew me very well when I was young, because I was a absolute goofball, absolute menace. Like Sherman Young is a dad. What the fuck? Which I'm sure you have friends that are like, Will Compton's a dad.
Yeah.
and loves it. Like, what in the world? And so I like answering that question. It is a hard question to answer, but like we joked about when we started this podcast of like, your life is over, bro.
Yeah.
Your life is over. It does feel like that because like this morning completely revolved around Scarlett Sterling Young. I did not matter. For the dads didn't matter. It was how do we make sure Scarlett is safe for a 2-hour window so that Sherman then can do his job, because we got to make sure Scarlett's safe. It's just like having this thing in your life that is just like, I FaceTimed my mom this morning and the camera was on me for 3 seconds and it was like a 30-minute call. She just wanted to look at Scarlett. Yeah. And like, I was my mom's whole world. And now it's like Scarlett's her whole world. And I love it. I take no offense, but it really is just kind of like a death of self, I guess, in a way. Mm-hmm. Which, to your point as well, to like bring it back to your philosophy, that's what I'm really trying to work on right now. Aside from being a good dad, good husband, it's like, hey, what are some selfish things that I can pour into myself that I do enjoy? So I'm trying to like get back to my roots of like hunting. I really enjoyed that. Mm-hmm. Soccer, I grew up playing that. I played it in high school. I want to try and find like a men's league or something. So I don't know. It's just like this constant.
Yeah, I more so asked the question because if that question were to come at me, I feel like I would get into a very just talking mode. Because it's not
what
it's
I
not,
just did.
Right. It's not. And then like I'm driving afterwards, and I'm like, man, what is fatherhood like to me? And it's something like we had the very first episode we did on being a girl dad and everything else. It's like things like that. You think about it, it's like, yeah, dude, it would be cool to have like just a foundational thing that I know I go to, because it feels so hard to explain until you're in it. You're like death of self, but just it's like new life in the best way.
Also new life. Yes, it is a death of self.
Right.
It's like this new chapter that's being written.
Yeah.
And I was so scared. I was terrified going into it. I truly was. I was terrified. And now that I'm in it, Jill's bringing up like, let's have another blah, blah, blah. And a part of me is like, oh shit. And then the other part of me is like, oh dude, we get to do this again. This is going to be awesome. We're going to have 2.